Welcome to Mr. Morris's virtual classroom. Today we're going to be continuing solving linear inequalities, and the problems are just going to be a little bit tougher. So let's start with determining whether each number is a solution of the given inequality. So it's going to give you an inequality, and then it's going to give you two solutions for this problem that you're going to plug in and determine if that satisfies the inequality or not, kind of like we did in day one, but the problems are a little bit bigger. So it's telling me that x is equal to 0. Therefore, I'm going to take 0 and I'm going to plug it in for my x coordinates, such that I get 3 times 0 plus 6 is less than or equal to -5, 0 plus 2. So that's going to turn into 0. I'm going to get 6 is less than -5, 0 plus 2 is 2, and I get 6 is less than -10. Which is definitely not true, so no, this would not be a solution. Let's do the same thing for b. We're going to take -2, we're going to plug it into for our x's. So we get 3 times -2 plus 6 is less than or equal to -5, -2 plus 2. All right, so we get -6 plus 6 is less than or equal to -5, and then that would be 0. And we get 0 is less than 0. So in that case, we would get another no, because 0 is not less than 0. It's less than or equal to 0. All right, so that's how you do on number 1 when it says determine whether the solution is or the number is a solution or not. Let's go to clearing fractions like we did in Unit 1. So again, remember, we're going to look at the denominators first, 5, 3, and 15. We're going to multiply by at least the biggest number of those, if not bigger. So we're going to start with 15. 15 does cancel 5 and 3. So we're going to multiply the tops by 15. So you get 45 divided by 5x minus 30 divided by 3 is greater than or equal to 15 divided by 15x. So I'll get left with 9x minus 10 is less than or is greater than or equal to 1x. Okay, from there, we've got to get x's on one side, non-x's on the other. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract the x to the left to get 8x minus 10 is greater than or equal to 0, right? That cancels to be 0. I'm going to add 10, get 8x is greater than or equal to 10. Divide by 8, and I'll get x is greater than or equal to, well, I've got to simplify this fraction. I'll divide the top and bottom by 2, which would be 5/4. So where's 5/4? Well, if I turn this into a decimal, it's about 1.25, right? You can put that in your calculator, prove that's true. So if it's 1.25, that means it's somewhere between 1 and 2. Well, this would be a closed dot, right, because there's a line underneath. And then this would be shaded to the right. All right, just make sure I'm still recording. Okay, let's go to next one. So we're gonna do a very similar problem. We're gonna look at the denominators. We got 3, 4, and 12. I'm gonna multiply by at least the biggest number, and 12 does cancel 3 and 4. So we'll multiply the tops by 12. I'll get 24 over 3x minus 12 over 4 is greater than or equal to 60 over 12x. And then I'll simplify. So 8x minus 3 greater than or equal to 5x. So I'll subtract my 5x. I'll get 3x minus 3 is greater than or equal to, what do we put? Well, if we canceled it by adding or subtraction, we're going to get 0. So then I just need to get x alone. I'll add 3. Get 3x is greater than or equal to 3. Divide by 3 to get x is greater than or equal to 1. So again, I'm going to have a closed dot, but it's going to be at 1 this time. And I'm also going to shade to the right again. Okay, and that's canceling or clearing fractions. So let's go to number 4. Number 4 says you go to the fair with $75. Admission to the fair is $15, and rides are $3 a piece. Write an inequality for how much rides you can go on. Well, the first thing we should talk about is our variable, defining it. That would be the number of rides, right? It's in the last sentence, it's what we're looking for. Then I look for the total. Well, in this problem, 75 would be our total. But I'm going to leave a space. It's not equal to, right? We're doing inequalities, so it's going to be a greater than, a less than, or equal to symbols. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and attach x to something. Well, we have the numbers 15 and 3. Well, a piece kind of gives you away that 3 and x are going to be attached to one another, right? 3 times however many rides I do. So 3x is going to go together. But it's just 15 bucks to get into this fair, so it's just a flat rate. I'm not going to pay multiple admissions unless I have more people that are also going to be paying their admissions. But for me, it's just 15 bucks to get in. And I would add those prices together to figure out how much I'm going to pay. Now this is where it gets tricky. You have to determine if it's a greater than or less than. Well, if 75 bucks is the most that I can pay, that means it would be the most I can spend, meaning that I can only spend less than or equal to that amount. So it would be a less than or equal to symbol, where this amount should be less than or equal to this one. I can't spend over 75. Okay, and then we're going to solve like normal. Subtract 15, get 3x is less than or equal to 60, divide by 3, and I get x is less than or equal to 20. So in this problem, you can write at most 20 rides. All right, this is our last one here. Can spend no more than $100 at dinner. Steak costs 55 bucks. Side dishes cost $8 a piece. How many side dishes can I get? Well, we'll say that X stands for the number of side dishes. And again, we have a total, which is 100 bucks. And then we know that just the steak, because we're going to get one steak, is 55 bucks. Plus, we're going to get some side dishes that we know are $8 a piece. $8 per side dish. Again, $100 is the most that I can spend. So that means my alligator is going to be eating 100 because that should be the most. This should be less than that amount. Well, can we spend up to 100 bucks? Well, it says no more than $100, so that would mean it's equal to. All right, let's go ahead and solve. So I get 8x is less than or equal to 45. I divide by 8, and I'll get x is less than or equal to, that would be 5.625. So here's the thing, I can't get 0.625 of a dish, right, of a side dish, so I can get at most 5 dishes. Can't get the 6th one, that would go over $100. All right, that's today's lesson. Good luck.